that cut off because that cut off. And basically, what we saying? Yes, energetically, if people like hip hop and rap and they really like to switch on their mind to really fast talkers and people that have put a lot of independent knowledge and aspirations into their being, I think that you sometimes switch on to a higher like, and then it makes you feel a bit elitist. And you feel a bit like, oh, I think I've switched on a bit of air in my brain. It's probably going to result in me being like one of those switched off people at some point, like in that Awakenings film. Like, wahey, because like, energetically, you're not playing with the average person. There's so many mood swings, ups and downs, and round and round. I'm not like, I should have been exempt from everything for a while, and I exempted myself. 7 years without benefits and really being too dependent on my parents, and I feel a bit guilty for that. But I also like I started claiming universal credit, and now I've got a court debt over my head because of some person with all supposed mental health issues that I was duped into hanging out with, basically, that got me in more trouble. Esoteric societies like to have vulnerable adults walking around that compromise your sanity so they can get their hands all over you and stuff like that. That's what I've learned about police. They might work with other people and agents in order to see your liberties compromised, especially if you're a very outspoken adult like I am. Like, under threat all the time, but always speak your own mind. Anyway, what I was talking about, meeting lots of people that are on a certain vibration or whatever, they will have a certain opinion about this COVID and will not entertain it because they will not. Because maybe they can hear the truth when they hear it. Maybe they've done the soul work. Maybe they've done the spiritual work. Who are you? Who are these people all over Facebook that are going, yeah, who are they? Really? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. They're so far removed some days. Don't get me wrong. If I live under the roof of my parents for long enough and watch enough Gogglebox and then pick up enough papers, I can fall back into that. I can fall back into that sort of level of energetics or slumber. But I choose not to, really, because I don't think it's probably the best all-round place for my particular energetics. Yeah, we're talking about the rainbow, aren't we now? Aren't we talking about mental health as well? Identifying with certain things. Like I said, I don't identify with the person I was maybe like a couple of years ago. I was like, I used to feel like I had vascular dementia at one point. I would say, hey, how you doing, to someone and be like, where did I meet you, man? Oh, yesterday. Oh, God, yeah, of course. And I had the most intense conversation with them, but then the next day it'd be gone. For just a second until I had to, it pop, but it was gone. It was like, what is it, the nature of like, we're only as sound as our body, our mind. There's a guy called Chris Paradox, and he basically talks about we are just experiencing the dream, and it's all about the contents of how we can attract or do things. I sort of believe that to a certain degree, but I don't understand the persecution stuff. I do probably because maybe my mum likes Jesus too much. And so he's like the role model, when you're trying to aspire to any, oh, I think I've got the best intentions, healing designs or creative designs, you perceive yourself as being under threat, which maybe I am, maybe I'm not. There's some days where I totally shake it off and be like, I'm not under threat, mum, I'm coming from a Christian place, your mum has afforded you luxury by getting you christened, you're safe in this environment. And then there's other days you feel like, oh, you get people that you seem to attract that go, oh, you're a girl, aren't you, sort of person. It's like, I'm not hard just because I've got a security licence. Don't place me in that. I come from the O2, it's classy, man. And then it's like you get these sort of other facets of the community because that's what London does to your identity. It fucks it up because you're doing too many things just for a P or a wage. And I'm like, I praise myself on the fact that I was never physically violent to anyone or never had to lay my hands on anyone because I was really good at getting in between people, even on their coked up out their face and getting in between me. So it's not fucking worth it, is it? Do you want to go to fucking prison for this, really? Like, just like give it the energetic in front of them that throws them off their game. So it's like, whatever. I lose the train of thought there but it's basically what's inside your mind is your your body is a temple. If you don't want to believe in the temple outside, which has become to me very like retrograde, and it can be very like defunct. When I see those posters up, I feel like they call it the George Orwell film, don't they? It does feel very much like a film set to a certain degree. Like that's how London feels to me. Like it's turned into a film set, like the biggest Hollywood film set someone could describe it. And that's how I felt since day one. So, like, even on day one, I was walking around going, oh, please, please, please. And it's like, and then you pick up on a statistic here and there, and they're totally outrageous. And they don't make any sense, even come from the mainstream. And then you go, well, this is absolute insanity that people are, like, literally trying to keep it, like, condition of. And I was saying about industrial, people like the industrial life because they see it as like being in the family way, isn't it? It's like the adverts, the products, the corporations. If you have your wage, you're buying into them to a certain degree, the Gillettes, the things, and then they make adverts and films, and your child might choose to go into film or whatever and promote those via another leg of family. And it's a community, but not as you know it, is it? It's so... I've been playing across the industries from like the O2. I was a stage manager for Circus du Soleil, and I've had quite a privileged time in places and a hellish time at others. When I was trying to get on as a self-employed artist, it's like the comfort of your own family. I felt like I was being punished for just trying to be a bit more independent, because it's like I felt like I was very much, even though I was aspiring, I was trapped at the same time, because it's like from job to job, why am I dependent on other people's money? I just want to go out there and have a good time, or play a guitar, or meet other people, or go about Freemasonry kind of vibes. The minute I tried to get into that, that's when it turned upside down, Fresh Prince of Bear style, and it got all hellish. I was like, never been barred from anywhere, and now I'm getting barred. And then I'm trying to get into Glastonbury, and I'm actually getting punched in the face, and all the sorts of madness that is beyond comprehension. It's like, come on, man, I showed you my fucking security badge. I joined Kingfisher as a subby firm. You know who I am. I'm parked in your fucking lot, and you're still you doing this to me? Oh, you're losing my guitar to get chased, and all sorts of madness. And it's like, why is that happening? Smash my fucking my fucking window out of my van well after the event was over, even though I'd worked that event. And I'd literally, the year before, I got taken in, chauffeured all the way up to the backfield by the event organiser and everything else. You're fucking, it's like from one year to the next. And the hedonism and madness of it all. And you're like, why'd you do that for? Why did they do that for? Why'd you treat me like that? I only wanted to lit a pick after you already lost me my festival experience, and to give me loads of shit. Why are you doing this? Why are you smashing my van? Why are you treating me like that? And then I still went on, I was only picking up a mate and lit a picking and shit. But anyway, what's my point being? But in these different varying stances in life, going from someone that's basically, even though you're holding a bag, they're treating you like some sort of beggar, and I think they thought as a threat. Everybody thinks I'm an undercover police. People have thought that I've been all sorts of madness, threatened and intimidated, and you're I was just trying to like work on my performing skills at certain varying times. But it's like more like meeting all these sort of drug-addled, paranoid heads around industrial that just don't know how to take you because you're walking with a certain air of authority off the back of that. But then I had it all crushed out of me. Don't get me wrong, I sound really strong. No, years wasted, years. Hold up in myself, pussycat curled up in myself, shit. Loads of times, retreat. Can't deal with it energetically anymore, people out there. And at that time, I really don't feel that I warranted any of that. I feel like if you give to the community, if you've got all those skills, and you've got your MVQs coming out of your butthole insecurity, and you're freewheeling, trying to be a bit messianic like they're trying to perform do-da-da-da-da, it takes a certain level of trust. It's like the Prince's trust. You look at that person, you say, well, whatever. Even when I was working on the job, I never confiscated a little 10 bag, or never done that to anyone, or never done that to anyone. I don't care if that's what I deem it safe. I deem it safe in the role as I deem it safe, because I'm a door supervisor, and that affords me a certain luxury to be my own boss. And then it's like 1 minute I'm getting persecuted, and the next minute they're going, oh, you're one of us, we heard you chatting, and they're walking you in. And then a steward's trying to chuck you out, even though you're with a bunch of brothers walking in that are helping you because they know your struggles. And then you still got a little spack that's saying, get off, like, I'm a steward. It was like, that was like public enemy number one. Anybody trying to get into Glastonbury just before it closed down I would describe it as pretty hellish and evil, those big green gates. It's like, I know money and revenue is an important thing to people, but to have that stringent, that's what I hate about security, because it's not security. It's like your firewall attitude is so soul-destroyingly corrupted on every level of humanity when you really look at it, because it doesn't listen, it doesn't hear, it doesn't see, it doesn't think. It goes, where's the barcode? doesn't see, it doesn't experience, it doesn't feel, doesn't sense, doesn't anything. Where's the barcode? Do we get that? That's what it is. That is exactly what you're up against. And I felt like I've looked into bellies of beasts, bellies of the belly of many beasts. And I'm talking about because I've experienced other people walking around in silver foil, like wrapped up like that, like in pitch blackness, because security, whose prime objective should be safety, are throwing people, vulnerable people, without a ticket out onto the road. People at Glastonbury, there's a little community that stay there for months at a time, and if you feel like you know enough of those people, you feel justified. You do feel like, oh, I should go there. And at one point they'd say go down to the Red Gate, maybe state your case which certain down there, or help you in any way. It was just vroom, vroom, vroom. It was like, because we've had an Amelie Grande, this is what it's all about. It's about a level of